Hey guys, today I have my foundation routine for you. Decided to do this. I've never done one before, but I really do like the routine I have right now, and I find it gives me very full coverage without actually using a foundation, so that's pretty fun. This look uses a range of high-end and low-end, so I think it's something that you could easily do whether you buy all drugstore or you buy all high-end. Just find the products that you like that fit in with this. So my first thing I'm going to take is Benefit Erase Paste, and I'm going to put that on my under eyes. Now, Erase Paste has a salmon tone, so it tends to brighten up this area. My problem with it is that it's extremely thick, so it is a little hard to blend in this area, which is actually why I'm putting it on now, and then I'm going to talk to you guys for a little while. It kind of sinks in a little. And as far as, is this product necessary for the routine? I don't think so. Something like it is because you'll see I'm using my concealer and I'm using it for under eyes as well as blemishes. And I do want the under eyes to be brightened as well as covered. So I like a brightening product, but you could take something like the Garnier, one of their roller balls, or the, Maybelline Anti-Age Roller, or the Maybelline Dream Lumi. It's just something that's going to brighten up down there. It doesn't need to have a lot of coverage, but a little is always extra fun. So anyway, if you do get the Erase Paste, I recommend the little deluxe sample jar for $10, unless you know you're going to want to use it for a long time, because I don't really think I'll repurchase. But anyway, I'm going to tell you about my skin a little. You can see I do have a little bit of blemishes, but not a lot. My blemishes tend to be more stress caused because I don't have oily skin, so it's not as much an issue of a lot of oil in my skin. So, like I said, it's very much stress caused, so since it's summer, I don't get a lot of acne because I don't have a lot of stress, luckily. Yay, no stress. Anyway, but yeah, so for me, right now, this time of year, I don't need that much coverage. My skin is dry to normal. It's extremely, extremely dry in the winter, like unbearably dry. But in the summer and the early spring, or late spring rather, it's very much normal. So this routine I have right now is one I've only ever used on normal skin because it's summer right now, but I'm hoping it will be able to transition more into winter when my skin's very dry, but we'll see. My goal for this winter is to find a routine for extremely dry skin. Now, I think that's probably had enough time to sink in. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this. This is a brush I use for blending. I'll be using it later as well. It was in a little set that also came with a concealer brush, a stippling brush, and an eyeshadow brush from Target, the Up and Up brand. It was like $15 and you get 4 brushes, and this one is really, really nice and dense. You could use it to apply a product. I really like it for buffing it into the skin. It works beautifully. So that's pretty much what I use that for. The product I'm going to be taking is Drugstore. It's supposedly a dupe for the Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer because it does say you can use it on tattoos. This is the Hard Candy Glamouflage Heavy Duty Concealer. It is $6 at Walmart. I don't know where else you can get hard candy. I believe that's it, which that's really one of the reasons I go to Walmart, because I'm not really a Walmart shopper, but sometimes they have makeup for great prices and as well as a few brands that you can't get anywhere else. So I'm going to just take this. This is Meat or Tan. It works for me right now. I'm going to have to get a lighter shade because it definitely won't work for me fall, winter, and spring. Only summer, but for $6, I don't mind picking up a few shades, you know. And also, my store only carried through tan, so if you're any darker than me, hopefully your store carries darker. If not, I guess they'll have to find something else, so sorry. But here's how I apply it. Because this is such a heavy-duty, high-coverage concealer, a little goes a long way. When I apply with my fingers, I tend to get a bit too much. So what I do is take a brush. This one's a little dirty because I do use it every day, so haven't really done a deep cleaning in a while, but it's from that Up and Up as well, and I just take it with that. I'm not really buffing it, and first thing I do is just place it where I want it. So any acne I have or scarring, I don't have as much scarring right now because I've been exfoliating more regularly, and it really helps. So if you have a lot of scarring, I recommend that. So just take that everywhere. I also take it in the under eye area. And it's such heavy coverage, it will cover even your darkest circles, I think. a little around the nose. Alright, now that's covering about everything. Now I want to buff it in, and I just use my finger. By the way, don't rub that off yet, because sometimes after you buff it, you'll find you need a little extra coverage in certain areas. So I find the ring finger gives you the most warmth, and your fingers are going to warm into your skin the best. So I always blend in my concealer with my fingers. But if you're somebody who doesn't like using your fingers, I've really been wanting to try that Real Techniques Dome Brush, and so if you have that, maybe that would work better. Just get your concealer nice and blended. And again, this is heavy duty, so if you find you have too much in an area, just kind of blend it out. Okay, so you can tell that looks a little odd at this stage, or maybe you can't tell, but it does. And so I'm going to go ahead and just take this buffing brush again and really buff it into the skin so it doesn't look like it's just sitting on top. Because it's such a thick concealer, it will tend to do that. Also, this concealer is, I'll go ahead and tell you a little about it. It is a little masky, which is not great, but that's why the product I'll be using on top really will set it, because it needs setting. It's a very moist product. And also it will help it look a little more natural because it's an illuminating product, which I'll show you more about that in a few minutes, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep buffing. This step is the most important, so make sure you really work it, because if this looks bad, then once you set it, it will stay looking bad. I also like to take my fingers, and I got this tip from Makeup by Ali, I think. Yeah. And it's just to take the flat side of your finger and really go around your pore area, because this will kind of bring out your pores throughout the day. Mine really are just my nose in this area, so I'm really going to make sure that's nice and buffed extra well around there. As well as kind of just taking it everywhere, making sure it's really blended in. One last time in with this brush. I think I did get my ideal coverage, so I'm just going to blend that away on my hand. See the easiest thing to do. Now, into the next product. Before I go in with my powder, I like to take a little Stila Lilium. I wear this most days under my powder because I don't have a natural, a lot of pinkness to my face or cheeks, and I think adding this just makes the blush I put on top a little bit more. It makes it a little easier to get color payoff. Obviously, this step is optional. If you have a lot of pinkness, you might even want to avoid this. And again, that's Stila Convertible Color in Lilium. I use it as a blush over my powder sometimes too, so, I really think that's a great product to have. Now I'm on to powder. I have this is an expensive product. I believe it's $28 for the pan, and you also have to buy the thing separately, and it's $14. I recommend going to All Cosmetic Wholesale. I got all this for $17. I think the pans are like $9. So that's a much better deal if you're interested. Mine is in 40 watts, and that is, again, if I didn't say, the Stila Illuminating Powder Foundation. And I do like an illuminating formula because, like I said, I don't have a lot of dewiness to my skin, so I don't really want to completely smother it all with a really matte powder. I used to do that a lot, but I find, especially over such a heavy-duty concealer, it looks so fake. So you want something that says illuminating, anti-aging. Something made for older skin tends to be a little more illuminating because older skin seem to have drier skin. Or if you have dry skin, you should definitely check that out. So again, that's in 40 watts, and I'm just going to take this brush, which I was using a different brush. I find this helps me get the coverage that I want because it is a powder foundation, so I want coverage. But it also makes it look very airbrushed, not like a powder all over your face. And this is the e.l.f. powder brush. It's from the Studio line, which is $3 at Target or on e.l.f. or on eyelipsface.com. Such a great brush for this. And what I'm going to do is just get that all over there. And I always start with my under eyes just because I want those to be set nicely. And then I'll just go all over my face, even the areas I don't have concealer on, because believe it or not, I don't have it everywhere, and this will just help to really even it out even if you don't have concealer. And I just kind of do that motion. I always, because this brush isn't super huge, I don't always get everywhere, so I just like to feel around. And if any area feels sticky, I will just go ahead and put a little more on there. So I have a little stickiness right here, as well as over here. Alright, that feels good. And boom, 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 boom. And then I just go like this to get all the excess off. And if you brush downwards, it looks more natural. So just do that. And we should be good on that. Okay? And next I'm going to want to, let me just brush my hair on my face. It's kind of getting annoying. Okay. Now I do bronzer. And I always get all the stuff that sweeps all over my face out of the way before I do brows, which I'll do in a sec. This bronzer I really like. It's great for tan skin. And that's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Princess. And the brush I'm using has really changed because I feel like that's a little hard to blend sometimes. This brush blends it beautifully. This is the Too Faced Teddy Bear Flat Bookie. Actually, if you go to Ulta, you can get a $20 set with this and a little sample size of a bronzer of theirs. And that's a great deal if you want to just do that. I bought mine online. I actually thought I was buying a Kabuki. It didn't tell me it was Flat Bookie, but now I have it. I'm really glad I do because it's great for bronzer. So what I like to do is just contour, go up my temples, down my nose, a little my chin because I tend to have a lot of like excess skin there. Yuck. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and this brush helps you buff it as you go. Just going to kind of sweep a little extra on my cheeks because it is summer, so I don't mind a little extra bronze. And now eyebrows. I don't do a lot for my eyebrows. I do pluck them and all that myself. I got a little kit at Target. I think it might have been the Up and Up brand. No, it wasn't. It was a little kit anyway. It came with a brush like this and tweezers and one of those little razor things for your eyebrows. So it makes it really a lot faster than doing tweezers. As well as a really good eyelash curler and a mirror. So if you find that kit, it's actually really good. And I like to take the brush from it every day, as well as taking the tweezers from it. And at night, sometimes when I feel I have a little extra hair going on, because I do like my brows to look polished, but not overdone. So I just brush that upwards. It's the direction I tend to go. It's good for my brows anyway. This product isn't great, but it's what I picked up because I wanted something really cheap, and it's the Maybelline Expert Wear Brow Thing in Blonde, and you get two little pencils like this, which is good that they're small so you can travel with them easily. And what I like to do is just trace out the tops of my brows, so it helps give you a defined shape without having to totally draw them on, you know what I mean? So like that. And then if I want to take a powder, I would put it on at this stage, but I usually do not. And I always do that after my powder, my bronzer, because otherwise I'd just be sweeping right over them, and I don't necessarily want to do that. So, last thing to do is just put on a little lip balm, and I'm just taking my Maybelline, or my EOS lip balm. I do like what I did with this. I just switched the caps on my EOS lip balm so they'd be pink and green. Alright, so that is it. That is my foundation routine. This is usually what I have on before you see me, and then we'll do my eye makeup, my blush, my lips, whatever. This is just how I like to start off with it. I really like it because it's full coverage, it's very airbrushed looking, but at the same time it's not fake and it's very easy. Although you do have to work with the concealer, but once you do, I think it looks phenomenal, especially once you put your powder on. And it's cheap, so that's great. The only thing in here that really was necessary that was expensive was the Stila Illuminating Powder Foundation, but like I said, it's kind of just a powder with extra coverage. If you want, you could just take any drugstore powder that has a little illuminating factor to it, and maybe it will give you a little extra coverage since we're not actually wearing a cream or liquid foundation. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, found it useful if you have normal skin. And if you, like me, have some trouble finding a foundation you love. The only one, by the way, I did a foundation routine for this, but I never put it up. The Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse Foundation is my personal favorite foundation if I want to wear a foundation, but for the most part, for summer and all that, I haven't been wanting to wear foundation. This is just how I get my coverage, and I've been doing it a lot recently. So, again, hope you found this helpful. Be sure to like it if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. All that. And I will see you very soon. Bye!